All right, we're on page 44, concept development, how to multiply 10, 100, or 1,000. You may want to have a little piece of paper so you can write down some notes as I do, or write it off to the side. To multiply a number by 10, move the decimal place to the right. So, and we think about, we've already learned this year, Mr. Dole. And so when we are multiplying by a multiple of 10, we have the choice of Mr. or Dole. And so we're multiplying right, we move it to the right by one time because each 10 is worth one place. All right, so then what we do is I like to prove this. So we're going to jump it one to the right, show where your arrow goes, and then clean it up. Is your answer the same as theirs? It should be. All right, so then to multiply a number by 100, same thing. But this time you move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So let's write our number down, 3 and 65/100. So we're going to move it 2 places, and we move it to the right. In between numbers, that's 1 jump, and then that's 2. 365. Is that what they have? It sure is. The last one seems to be a pattern here. To multiply 1,000, move the decimal 3 places to the right. All right, so this is a times 10, and because I have to jump one more jump, I need to, what? Annex a 0 in that little hole. Use 0 as a placeholder. And our answer is 3,650. Does that match? It sure does. So when multiplying a decimal number, sometimes it is necessary to record additional zeros to the right as placeholders, which we have seen right there. So now we're going to get some practice with this on the bottom. And it says, Misaki is solving a math problem. She multiplies 36 5/10 of a meter by 1,000. How many zeros should be to the left of the decimal point in Misaki's product? So we're going to go down below. So I have a workspace. And then we're going to move our decimal point, multiply right, because they said so, multiplies. We're going to jump it 3 jumps. You know that by either saying 1,000 has 3 zeros, or because you know 1,000 is the 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, so we're going to jump it 3 jumps. Well, we only have one digit that we can jump, or one place. So then we have to jump a second and a third place. Draw your arrow and then a decimal point, and then you need to annex what? 2 zeros in that hole right here. So our new answer is 36500, and you're going to want to put your comma in 36,500. So the question is, how many zeros should be to the left of the decimal point in Misaki's product? All right, to the left of it, there should be 2, because there it is to the left of it. If you go, all right, so the answer really should be 2 zeros. We're making sure we're answering the question they ask. Okay, so now we're going to look at this next one where you have 86 hundredths divided by 10. It's really interesting that you didn't have one of these up at the top. But that's okay, because we can do this. We know how. Because we have learned Mr. Dole earlier. So when we have Mr. Dole, we're multiplying right, or when we're dividing, we're going to move the decimal point to the left. So workspaces, we'll just do it off here to the side. Okay, how many jumps do I move it? Divide left, move it to the left. I move it 1 to the left, put your arrow, decimal point. Your answer is 87 thousandths. Because you're taking 87 hundredths and dividing it into 10 parts. Now you made, instead of having 87 hundredths, now you have 87 thousandths. Okay, next one, you have 3 and 1/10, and now you are dividing by 100. So, and how do we make 100? By 10 by 10. or 10 times 10, and that's 2 jumps. I'm going to the left. That's 1. I must have another decimal point, put a placeholder in. My answer is 31 thousandths. 1 multiplies 140 by a mystery factor. The product has a 1 in the 10,000s place. Circle the number that could be 1's mystery factor. Okay, so 1 multiplies 140 times, we don't know. But what we do know is that the product has a 1 in the 10,000s place. So the product has a 1 in the 10,000s place. 1 in the 10,000s place. 1 in the 10,000s place. One multiplies 140 by a mystery factor. Okay, that was my bad. The product, not the other factor. The product, something you're going to put in here for the product so that the product will be a 1 in the 10,000s place. So what can I do so that if I move my decimal point this way, if I put my 100 in there, what is happening to it? Oh, 10,000. Okay, I just probably need to cut this and just start over. But, maybe it's a good idea for you to see. Now, Ms. Kakaika was thinking of thousandths, so maybe you can learn from my mistake, and we'll try this again. Let's try this again. So now we're going to do this so that the answer ends up being, what a mess. All right, so then now what we're going to do is we're going to read this again. Do it again. Because we're saying, all right, 1 multiplies 140 by a mystery factor. The product has a 1 in the 10,000s place. So the product, a factor times a factor equals a product of this, a 1 in the 10,000s place. So the 1 would have to be here. You have to have a blank, comma, blank, blank, blank. So what can I do? That's all we're doing. Oh my goodness. So all we do is we scoot in. We put 140 here. What will we have to multiply to get these zeros to have, or these blanks to be with zeros in them? We'd have to multiply it times 100. Because now we have a total of 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And 1 times 4 is 14. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. It says to divide by 10, move the decimal 1 place to the left. To divide by 10, move the decimal place 1 to the left. All right, so let's do that now. 9.4 or 9 4/10. We're going 1 to the left. And there's our answer. Same thing as a 0 in the front. Very good. To divide by 100, move the decimal place 2 to the left. All right. 1, 2, annex a 0 in that jump. And then you can put a placeholder in front. So does our answer match up? It sure does. Okay. When dividing a decimal number, sometimes it is necessary to record additional zeros between the decimal point and the other digits in the product. These zeros are placeholders. All right, let's see what we can do here. So Anna is working with patterns in multiplication and division. She creates this table. So if you have 72 divided by 100, well, I've already been teaching this, that if you have a power of 10, which 100 is a power of 10. So if I start with 72, and you're saying, but I don't see a decimal point. But what we know is this, I'm going to do it right above. If a decimal isn't in sight, which it isn't, it's always on the right, it's like $72. So then we're going to move this decimal point twice. 1, 2. So our answer is decimal point 72. Now we take 72 and we're going to divide it by 10. So 72 Decimal isn't in sight, it's on the right. We're going to jump it in 1. So now my answer is 7 2/10. Now we're going to go with 72 and multiply it times 10. Notice 1 0 at the end, because all you have to do is decimal point and move it 1. 72, decimal point, move it twice. Annex those zeros in. 72, we'll do this one down below. Put your decimal point in, jump 1, 2, 3, annex those zeros in, and your answer is 72,000. Anna does not understand how to complete the division expressions in the table. Complete the table, which we did. Then write a short explanation to help Anna understand how to divide by 10 and 100. All right, so on this particular page, I think what I would do is, goodness gracious, this is very grueling, and you know, it's good and fine. It just taxes me. But I think what I would write for this one is to divide by 10, comma, move the decimal point one place to the left. Okay, I'm going to change colors. I'm going to go to the other one. To divide by 100, to divide by 100, comma, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. All right, there we go. And did we do this up at the top? Yes, that's exactly what we did.